What is up? It is Monday motivation, which means it's Monday. So welcome in, everybody. It's been a couple of weeks, I guess. Maybe. I don't remember now. But I know I didn't go live. Yeah, it's only been 2 weeks because I didn't go live last Monday, but we're live tonight. So welcome in. If you do not know who I am Pamela, aka Scooterrenee. I'm your host for Monday Motivation, as I am for all Monday Motivations. So welcome in, grab you a drink, grab you a comfy seat, and we'll get started here soon. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. You subscribe to my channel. Make sure you do a ring the bell for all notifications so that you know when I go live or upload new content. Because I did a lot of shorts, and sometimes you never know. I might throw a buy it now or a pop-up sale. You never know. There's a lot going on that's going to be happening coming here soon. So also a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that for tonight as well. So welcome in, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. Last week was a blast. As y'all know, I had Selena here with me, so that's why I didn't go live last Monday because she was here, and so we were just doing a lot of things all last week. So I kind of took a break last week. If you are, again, brand new to my channel, welcome in. I hope you'll continue to come back for other Monday motivations, other auctions, because I do auctions Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, most Fridays now, and there might be some other things coming up. So that is in the works. You just never know. So you want to stay tuned. Also, if you are the OGs, welcome in. Glad to have you. Glad that you are here. Y'all know who you are. And then, of course, the playback crew. I couldn't do this without you. Your thumbs up, your comments after watching the playback always matters. So thank you to the playback crew for watching the Monday Motivations. So we got lots of people popping in. Guys, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think because I do my auctions at 7:30. I always post 30 minutes before I go live that, hey, I'm going live. But tonight I was an hour ahead. It's like, and I was sitting here at my desk. I was like, oh, I got 5 more minutes. It's almost 7:30. I'm like, you idiot. We don't start till 8 p.m. Central. So thank you for those of you that caught that. You're still here, even though it was an hour later. Thank you for being here. So let's see who all is here in chat. We got Selena first in the house. Hey, Selena, welcome in. Good to see you. We got Joanne. Hello, Joanne. Welcome in. Good to see you. We got my Jimmy Mac. When are you coming back in the house? Welcome in, Jimmy. Good to see you. Selena got to meet Jimmy last week, so that was really, really special. We got Kathy in the house. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you. Yes, you caught my live. Of course, I didn't go live last week, so you're in for a treat. Hey, Nana Tink, welcome in. Good to see you. I love my Nana. All right, we got Lisa D in the house. Hello, Lisa D. Welcome in. Good to see you. We got Love here. Hello, Love. Welcome in, as always. No, we missed you. You know, Selena and I went live last Tuesday, but the rest of the time I kind of stayed quiet, so I've missed all of you guys. Nancy Smith, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome. All right, let's see. We got Tammy, Dream Chaser in the house. Welcome in. Hello, welcome. And we got Cool Ranch, my sister here. Hello, Cool. Welcome in. All right. So tonight's topic is one that I've needed. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Texas Val, welcome in. Welcome. I thought it looked like a mess, Cool. Thank you, though. Thank you. I thought it kind of looked messy. But, of course, that's usually when it looks good, right? Messy. Oh, Nana, you just wait. I got one more video being dropped. I got to work on it. It's a longer video that we did. So that one's going to take me a little bit because there's a lot of editing, that I got to cut. But it's probably my favorite. The filter challenge was probably my favorite. This next one's my next one. And then the Juicy Chew, whatever it was that we did. So, but everybody seems to like the filter challenge. That one was a lot of fun. I did that one with Harley not too long ago, but we did it without the water. So doing that with Selena with the water was even better, I think. So All right. So again, tonight's topic is forgive or fester. I don't know, as I was about to say, I don't know how many of y'all might need this topic, but I needed to read this chapter so very badly. So in fact, we missed last Monday, which is going to be about doing or spewing. So that'll be next Monday, because I didn't want to change tonight's topic, which is the forgive or fester. So on this topic, we will discuss what forgiveness means, why it's so important, and why we should not fester on things. We are so close to finishing this book as well, guys. We got 3 more chapters after tonight. 3 more chapters. So we're close to finishing. I jumped back a few chapters for tonight. I don't know why I didn't put it in order, but I felt like tonight, or I felt like we needed to cover this topic. It's an important one to cover before we finish as well. So again, a lot of y'all will say tonight was a topic that I needed to hear this. And so that's where I'm at myself today. It's like today was the day I needed to hear this information or read about it, research it and everything. So let's see. I saw somebody comment. Nancy says she needs this topic for tonight, right? Yes. Selena's talking about, yep, she kept losing. Yep, it was so funny. She's like, oh my goodness. All right. So let's go ahead and kick it off. I'm gonna kind of share with you my struggle here lately. But I haven't decided. It's been something that I've been kind of going over in my mind today. So we'll see where my conversation leads for all that. So let's kick it off. Before we do positive spot thought, let's do some chat participation, okay? So here you go. I want you to put a 1 in chat if you're the type that can forgive and move on pretty quickly, no matter what it is. No matter what it might be, you're one that can forgive and just go. Or I want you to put a 2 in chat if you are the type that you fester over it, like you just dwell over it, like constantly. You might find yourself hard to move on from things, because you feel like you've been let down so much or you've been through so much or whatever. So you're not so quick to forgive. You have to fester over it, meaning that you just keep mulling it over. And sometimes the situation becomes worse in your mind than what it really is, because you just can't let go of it. You make it worse than what it really might be in real life. So got a lot of 1s in the chat. All right. So a lot of y'all can forgive. Love, thank you, because I sometimes feel like I am there at 2, where I just fester over things. And then maybe I feel like I'm making the situation worse than what it really is. And then maybe I either get confirmation that, no, you really weren't blowing things out of proportion. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, I really did kind of blow that out. So Selena says 1, but struggling what has happened to Stevie, but still 1, right? Yes, very much so. Texas Val says 1 and 2, depends. I know somewhere throughout my notes tonight, I share with y'all about Harley, and Harley is one of those that she is quick to forgive people and give chance after chance after chance. And we'll kind of go into that somewhere in my notes. I can't remember where I put it, but right, love? Yes. Okay. See, love, you are so with me on this. I'm a 1 and 2, depends on what it is. But if I am a 2, I won't speak up about it. I will keep it mostly to myself. It's hard for me to talk about certain things. It just depends on what it is, right? So, what Carol has done, she's a 2, right? Yes, you got to mull it over, and that, I think that's where we get ourselves in trouble. Not mulling over, but we fester on it, so we just stew on it, and we just it builds and builds and builds, and then before you know it, you might lose control over your mouth, your hands, maybe. It just depends on what's going on in that situation. So sometimes 2, mostly 1, right? Yes. For me here lately, I don't know. I fester a lot here lately, and I don't know why. And so that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at tonight, and it's festering over different things, like several things. Joanne says, I will fester over it a while, and even though it bothers me, I can forgive easily. Right? Yes. And that's a little different too, right? Right, Selena? That's right. Just keeping it real. Yep. Lev said exactly, could lose control over our mouth. Then we have regret and wish we reversed the button on the mouth and the stressing over it, right? Been through too much in life, Nana says. Realize life is way too short. Got to let it go and put it in his hands. Yes. Right. Isn't that funny how that works? Texas Val, a 2 until you go off and then it's a 1, right? All right, Jimmy, no worries. So good. I feel a lot better. I'm glad I'm not the only one that, festers. So I know that the word forgive has come up a lot for me throughout my life to the most recent events in my life. We all have a choice when it comes to forgiveness, and we all have a choice when it comes to fester as well. Those of you that put a 2 a few minutes ago, I'm going to ask you again at the end if your thought has changed on that, because I think mine did change after I got finished kind of researching, going through the chapter and typing up my notes and everything. So we'll see how that goes there at the end. All right, guys, up next. All right, positive spot thought. Lily Tomlin, who is an actress, a writer, and a comedian, she said that forgiveness means giving up all hope for a better past. How many of y'all have heard that before? I know I've heard that before. That forgiveness means that you give up the hope for a better past, because you can't be in the past anymore. So that's done and over with, and so you give up that hope for a better past. Hello, Josie. Welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome. Right? We're all a work in progress, right? Yes. I'm with you, love, on that one. I'm so with you on that. So there was a few other quotes I found as well. Forgive others not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. And finally, forgiveness is the final form of love. And I think about my stepdad when I say that. Forgiveness is the final form of love. Those of you that know my history with my stepdad and everything, you'll know what I mean when I say that. So those of you that, want to know what the good book says, the Bible even says in Ephesians 4:31-32, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you with all malice, and be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. So even the Bible teaches us about forgiveness. To be wrong is nothing unless you continue to remember it. To be wrong, someone's done you wrong, is nothing unless you continue to remember it. You continue to fester. You continue this crazy cycle to relive an event over and over and over, that you drive yourself nuts over what that person did or what happened to cause an event, which leads you to the definition of, what is it, irrational? I think my mind just went out the window on that one. That's right. Hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, if it needs to be, right? So forgive means what? Forgive means what? What does that mean to you guys? Come on, chat. What does forgive mean? Insanely. Thank you, Booty. Welcome in, Booty. Good to see you. Insanity. That's it. The definition of insanity. Welcome in, Rita. So forgiveness means what, guys? Y'all tell me, what does it mean? Anybody? Anybody? Let go. Yes. Hello, Black Widow. Yes. It simply means you stop feeling angry. Oh, here comes Nana. Forgive me is taking back your own control of your emotions, right? Yes. Where are you driving to, Rita? So it simply means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, a flaw, or a mistake. It also means to cancel a debt. Forgive those as you want to be forgiven. Yes. Let go of your anger. Yes. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Help you with the peace in that. Get more glue. I love that mirror. I was watching that a little bit earlier when I was getting ready, Rita. I love what you're doing with that mirror thing. That is so cool with the stones and everything. That's really cool. So fester, now we're going to look at fester. Fester means what? Fester means, and I've already kind of told you what it meant, but what does fester really mean? When we say that we're festering over something, sometimes, you hear these words, see these words, you're like, is that really a word? Like fester? Like, really? Accepting things in life aren't perfect. There you go, love. That'll be so cool. So, fester means that a negative feeling or a problem becomes worse or more intense, especially through a long-term neglect or indifference, right? Like I don't share how a lot of times I might feel like I have overreacted, but at the same time, I feel the way I feel, so I'll just fester on it. So I never do say what it is that I'm feeling. And so that becomes a long-term neglect or an indifference that I have. You become septic, becoming rotten and offensive to your senses. So like rotten eggs and stuff like that. It continues to eat away at your mind, which how many of us lay there at night doing that, right? So chat, I just want to know, and y'all can tell me in chat, when was the last time any of you ever physically hurt yourself? You cut your hand, you scraped your knee. When was the last time that you ever accidentally physically hurt yourself? Nope, that's what this is for, Selena. You know that. That's what Monday Motivation is for. This is your safe place. Besides, it makes you get wrinkles, right? So, let me know, when was the last time you physically hurt yourself? We're going to do a lot of participation tonight out of the starting gate. So, anybody recently hurt yourself? Selena got attacked by a crowbar. I was going to let her say that. She got a nice little bruise on it. So, anybody cut your hand? You got a little, paper cut on your finger or anything like that? But you know what I'm talking about when I say that, right? When you get that paper cut or, you've hurt something on you. Did you, so you hurt yourself. What did you do to get rid? Texas Val said, I fell. There you go. See, bruised up some knees, maybe. Hands. I know Robert was putting my sock on, I don't know, a month ago or so, and I had my leg up in the air while he was putting the sock on and the other foot's on the ground. And for some reason, all of a sudden, I did a pirouette. We don't know how it even happened. And I fell and scraped up my knees and my hands. It's like, how did that even happen? And he was panicking. Bella's all up in my face. Kathy Sweet said last week, Josie said, I hit my toes often because I'm always in a hurry. Yes, like the end of our bed. I do that all the time. Going around the corners, like bam, because we got a built-in bench on our bed. So you get hurt. You use, What did you do to get rid of that pain? And how quickly did you do something about it? How quickly did, if you scraped your knee, what do? Put Neosporin, you might put some, disinfectant on your scrape or something. Oh no, fire ants are the devil. Yes, they are. Hello, Demetrius. Welcome in. Love says, a month ago, fell down the steps to the bottom with a large box in my hand, lay there thanking God I was alive and I didn't break my neck, right? Bruise myself up often because I move around fast, right? So when we hurt ourselves and when we're in pain, we quickly do something about it, right? Right? We do something about it. We get ice maybe to for our knee or arm or wrist, whatever. We ice it down. Maybe we get a Band-Aid to cover up the scrape or something. Maybe at worst we might have to get stitches, right? But we maybe put some Neosporin on it. But you did it. Did you do it immediately or did you put it off? Come on, tell me. Did you try to take care of it right away or did you put it off? I'm curious to see who just put it off. Went to my car and went home. Still hurts. Oh, yes. Isn't that funny, Lisa D? Our dogs think they're the lightest thing and they're just like, can do whatever. So, did you do something immediately to get rid of the pain or did you just put it off? That's the next question. That's the next participation question there. I just whined about the leg, but did nothing. Yes, I know. Really, at first it looked like it was going to bruise, and then no. Dropped something on my foot. Now some of my toes bruised. Oh no! Somebody the other day broke their toes. Who was that? Somebody broke their toe. I woke up this morning, slept wrong, bad sore neck, ibuprofen, and ice all day. Right? Cool Ranch says she put it off. You're the exception to the rule, Cool Ranch. Hello, Echo. Welcome in. Good to see you. Immediately and took care of it daily, right? So most of the time, that's you, Cool. I was like, I know somebody broke their toes. Who was it? That was you. And Mike took care of it immediately, right, Cool? Put it off, however, when I sliced my finger open, I bet that's what you meant. I ran to put a wet paper towel around it and didn't want to look at it, so I just left the white paper towel on it. So I guess I'm want to not do. I got you. Let me figure out where I left off my notes here. So you hurt yourself, you used whatever to get rid of the pain, and you did it as quickly as you could, more than likely. Now the question for you is why? What was your goal in doing all that? Why did you immediately try to get rid of the pain? Right? Your goal and my goal when we get hurt or we get the start of a headache, maybe we didn't get hurt. But there's pain. We got a headache. We got, we're achy, whatever. We want relief from what has hurt us and caused us pain, right? Could do nothing, right? Yeah, there's some exceptions, yes. You hobbled. So, but your goal and my goal, usually when we get hurt, is to get rid of the pain as quick as we can. We don't want to be in pain, right, Joanne? Right, we do not want to be in pain. So why is it that when something causes us emotional pain, why do we play more into it? Do we just sit there to see how much torture that we can endure? Do we enjoy wallowing in our guilt, maybe our shame, resentment, and maybe self-loathing? And unfortunately, some of you that are watching this, you've been doing that your whole life. Why? Why is it when it comes to physical pain, we immediately want to take care of that, but when it comes to emotional pain, we're total opposite of it, right? No pain, no gain is garbage. Exactly, Selena, right? So why do we choose not to treat our emotional pain just as fast as we treated the physical pain? Some of you said you immediately treat a cut or a headache. Why don't we do that with our emotional pain? Why do we not do the same thing? Obviously, there's a payoff. Not a good one, if I should say, but we get a payoff of some sort from it, right? There's some kind of high that we might also get that when we're bad-mouthing other people, whether it be friends, enemies, or family, it feels good in the moment, right? There's that high, that payoff of why we're just sitting there in the emotional pain of it. Hello, Tracy Cakes. Welcome in. Good to see you. And we'll sit there and we'll fantasize what it would be like to tell someone off in front of a lot of people. Maybe it's a boss. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's an ex-family member. Maybe it's an ex-husband, ex-wife, whatever. But we fantasize what that would feel like, the reactions that we would get. We fantasize about that. Some of us, we might even lay in bed at night and we just have to have that replay button going on. And we just have it, the replay button push, and we just go over and over and over and over why that person is wrong and why you are so right. Anybody besides me that can do that? There may be some guilt involved, right? Exactly. Unlike our physical pain, we just constantly take the emotional pain and relive our worst moments in our life over and over and over. And we can't be like Elsa and Frozen and just let it go. It's not as easy sometimes, right? We pick up that emotional scab. So remember, we're talking about the sores that you might get a Band-Aid to cover it up. We pick up that emotional scab to where it just gets infected again and again and again, and we treat it for a moment, and maybe we put a Band-Aid on it, only just to find ourselves later picking up that same scab again and again and refusing to let it heal and for the pain to subside. Some people, and I've heard a few, seen a few, known a few, that some of them won't rest until they made dang sure that the other person feels as badly as they just made them feel. Right, Cole? I would agree with that. I would agree with that. But they're just miserable, and they want anybody else to be just as miserable as they are. Right, Josie? After I get to a point, I let it all go. Yep. And we're going to talk about that too. But we know these people that are out there that they're not going to stop until they feel like they have gotten even. Hello, Randy. Welcome in. Good to see you. Some of you or others have maybe thought, even if I have to suffer the rest of my life, you're going to know exactly how miserable I will make you feel for doing me wrong. Anybody know anybody like that? And maybe we have been guilty of doing that at some point in our life, but we were able to let it go and everything. But those that can't let it go and they are just downright going to prove that you did, maybe it's, again, I always think of ex-husband, ex-wives, but they are constantly thinking about it, constantly fantasizing about it and everything. What a waste of time and life, though, if that is somebody that is constantly doing that. There are other things out there to be doing. Right? You have to work through it. Don't be a lifelong victim. Selena said, I swallowed the pain and kept it going. Didn't realize how much I had until I grabbed that crowbar. I was shocked. Amen. Right? We're all talking about that too. Did you know that when you cling to resentment, that it takes up a ton of brain space and it actually has a mortgage? Not only does it take up that space, but it can spin us out of control. It can keep us in a state of constant anger. You know, the whole she or he seems to be angry at the world when you hear that. Well, she just seems like she's angry at the whole world. That's why. It's taking up all that brain space. It can make us physically sick, and even to a point where it can even kill us because we're so angry. We're just so full of poison and toxin from that anger. Why? What was the payoff? We talked about the big snooze a few topics back. If you guys will remember, we talked about that a while back. Well, when we fester, when we allow ourselves to stay angry and not to forgive, the big snooze comes into play. It runs the show by pitching a fit, demanding to be right and to be seen. Big snooze likes for you to lug around the shame, the guilt, and the resentment. Big snooze likes to hold you back. Makes you think that you're safe because you're not, putting yourself out there. You're not letting people know what you really feel because you're festering on it. Big snooze likes for you, like I said, lug around the shame, the guilt, and the resentment that you have. Our higher self, however, the higher self doesn't give a crap about what someone else thinks or does. Now, usually I will fester, and then once I get out of my system, I'm that higher self. I don't give a crap anymore. Whatever happened, happened. Usually I have to have my fit for a little bit at the raw emotion of something that's happened, and then I can usually choose to be over it, and what happens, happens and moves on. Selena got a taste of that. Either she was crying last week or I was crying last week. We kind of went back and forth. When we choose to give our power away to the person or event that has caused us to be bitter and unforgiving, all it does is it keeps the negative feelings from the past alive. It keeps you a prisoner to your pain, and it also lowers your frequency. Right, Josie? Yes. Sometimes, most of the time, the things that we're angry about does not really matter at all. Yes. When we choose to give our power away to the person or event, it can cause us to be bitter, unforgiving. And like I said, it just keeps you a prisoner. The moment you decide to forgive and let your negative feelings melt away, you are on the road to freedom. Remember, smashing mama, Selena, no more. A long time ago, when I finally figured out that forgiveness was all about taking care of me and not the person that I needed to forgive, my world changed. Robert's ex-wife had done some not so nice things in the past when our girls were little. And I mean, that's sometimes how it goes. But she did something to him, to both of us, and I really, really disliked her. I was consumed by what she did to my husband, false accusations and so forth. And if I allow myself, even to this day, to dwell on it, to go back there again, go back to the past, which I shouldn't be in, right? I can be in a heartbeat of anger if I allow myself to do it. So I don't. I could literally feel the anger that I had for her in my blood. The poison was just consuming me, and I think I even got physically sick from it. And I remember one day, I think I was maybe driving, I would just start praying to God, and I was like, "Dear Lord, please remove this poison from me," because I could feel it. I could feel the dark anger. It was just suffocating me. It was sucking every bit of life out of me. The poison, I could just feel it. So I chose for my own self, my own knowledge, to forgive her. And she never knew. But it was so I could have peace in my life. This allows you to put your desire to feel good before your desire of being right. It's about owning your own happiness. Many of you know that I took, there you go. Many of you know that I took Selena last week to a place called Smash Mama's Rage Room, is what it's called. And it's where you just throw things to break. It could be bottles. They could have plates there if you want to buy plates. They have monitors if you want to buy monitors to smash. Or you could take or you could use a weapon. And that was either the crowbar, a bat, a golf club. Like, I was throwing up bottles and swinging for it, and I luckily hit it. Yes, Lisa D, it is for our own peace. But you can just go in that room and you can beat the ever-loving mess out of any item in that room. My key thing for me with what has gone on in my past, especially with my stepdad, and how the events I went through with him has affected me with dealing with certain people, even to this day. Even though he's been out of my life for over 2 years now, it still affects me with certain things that go on. But I chose that day that I was going to take my power back. I was owning myself and my thoughts, and no one will ever have demand over my life again, unless you're Robert Floyd. That's the only person that has demand over my life. Or God, obviously. Anyway. But I get the right to say no to things that I don't want to do anymore. I get the right to voice my voice when I feel I've been done wrong. I get to have my power back to stand and not conform anymore. That's why y'all saw all the crazy hair colors and everything. So my key thing that I wrote on those bottles that I threw against the wall was taking my power back. No more of the hell that I feel I should give my power up so there's peace and harmony with everyone. I've always been the peacemaker, the harmony maker. Everybody gets along, rainbows and unicorns. Let's sweep everything underneath the rug and act like it never happened. No more of that hell. No more. No more apologizing first when I know I wasn't in the wrong. No more conforming or jumping when people request things of me. No more was the other key thing that day. And that was also with the Alzheimer's and cancers and anything else I felt I'd given my power to. No more. No more. And I was taking my power back. I don't tell you. I got chills. I don't tell you all that to say, look at me, I'm a badass. I mean, I am one according to our book, obviously. But it's not, hey, this was simple and I have all my crap together, because I still don't have all my crap together. But that's where I was in the moment. I will be the first to say I don't have my crap together. It might be a little more neater than before. Maybe a little bit neater than before. But I still have my days, but maybe those days and times become less and less. But I took the first step, and that is taking my power back. Taking back what is rightfully mine, me. Because you see, when you own your power, when you take your power back, you are giving your anger, your resentment, your hurt, your own can of whoop butt and kicking all those three things out. The anger, the resentment, and the hurt. You're just saying, out of my life. Corinth shares, Christians must be ready to forgive everyone, not just other Christians. Amen. We should never return evil for evil. As far as we can, we should live in peace with everyone. Yes. Yes, Selena was the vocal one. I'm the quiet one. Even in that, I was the quiet one. I was saying things to myself. Holding on to resentment is like taking poison and waiting for all your enemies to die. Remember what I said earlier about how I felt with Robert's ex-wife? That's what it felt like. If someone that you care about is your friend or a family member, or you're having issues with them, then you can find out how good of a friend or a family member they are when you share issues that you're having with them without placing blame regardless of the outcome. Because it's going to do one or two things, or one or the other. One or the other. It's either going to bring you closer, or you may discover you don't want to hang out with them as much as you do. Or maybe not at all. But if you want to be free, you have to let it go. Josie said, I forgive everyone with God, but don't allow some back into my life. You know, the whole forgiver, I can forgive you, but I can't forget. Right? Nana says, and with that power, your voice, you stop, need kindness, and learn what to say, when and how to say, so you're not a mean person. Be kind always. Yes. Yes. Selena says, I think that's okay not to let them back in, wish them well, and move on. Right? And that's a hard one, too, for me, at least with my stepdad. That is very hard for me to not let them back in. But I have to protect myself. Right? If it is someone you don't really care about, if you'll notice, if it's someone you really don't care about, then choose to free yourself and let it go without festering over it or getting revenge. Most of the time we don't, right? If it's someone we don't care about, we're like, see you later. But most of the time with the ones that are just a-holes, and we find that we can't let it go even though we could care less about them, is because we want retribution, or we want an apology, or we want to be acknowledged that we were right and they were wrong. If you hear nothing else tonight, guys, you don't hear anything else tonight that I've said to you, and that's okay. Please do not fall prey to the false belief that if you forgive someone, that you're letting them off the hook. Right, Lisa D? Yes. Pray for all you can. Pray for her all you can. But again, if you hear nothing else I say tonight, do not fall prey to the false belief that if you forgive someone, that you're letting them off the hook. I don't know why this is such a hard thing to get across to people. Don't get it backwards. When you forgive someone, you're letting yourself off the hook. Not them, you. You're letting yourself off the hook. Forgiving isn't about being nice to them. It's about being nice to yourself. So how do we forgive the a-holes in our life from the past, present, and the future? How do we do this? I'm going to show Robert, Stevie's husband, what family means, that a mama shows unconditional love. He needs to know that to help him as a father and a person, period. Amen. Yes. Lisa David, yep, I'm with you on that one. That's, yes. I've forgiven my stepdad for what has happened. I'm at peace with it. I'm at peace at my decision not to have him in my life. That mean I don't still love him. I love that man more than anything, and I will be there the day that he is passing away as he's transitioning, if I can be. You know, I will be there. I will not let him die alone if I can at all possibly help it. But as far as in between, I just can't go there. And that's okay. So the author gives us 8 ways that we can do this, that we can forgive those people that are in our past, our present, and our future to come. Number 1, find compassion. Find compassion. When you find compassion for either yourself or someone else who did something terrible to you, it's been said that it's like pulling a bullet out of your arm. Yes, as you can imagine, you may kick and scream and hate the pain of doing it, because it can be so painful, I bet. No, don't know, never had it done. But it's the only way to start the real healing. Just like earlier when we were talking about physical pain, we might have to hurt by pouring a disinfectant on it, or maybe we got to get stitches or whatever, but it's the only way for that physical wound to start healing, right? We have to treat it, just like our emotional pain. We have to treat it. In the book, she said the way to do this is to imagine the person you're resentful of as a little kid. Imagine that this little kid is acting out of fear, doing what they can to protect themselves and attempting to deal with their own suffering the only way they know how. People act poorly because they are in pain, or they're confused, or they're both, which can be hard to do, to look at, when you feel like you're the one that's been wronged and pained and everything. But doing this will help you find compassion for them, which is the key to forgiveness. And also, when it comes to yourself, imagine yourself as a little kid for things that you need to forgive yourself for. Right? Cool Ranch definitely would understand when it comes to the sister thing. I don't have sisters, so I can never, understand that. I have those of you that I call my sister. Well, you're all my sister, but, like Cool Ranch and Selena, I have a sister and I got a feather sister. And, I understand on that level, a friendship sister level, but not a physical, biological level. Right? So if you're having a hard area of your life of forgiving yourself, imagine yourself as a little kid. Again, the little kid that's acting out of fear. You acted out of fear. You did something because you thought you were trying to protect yourself and then attempting to deal with your own suffering. Number 2, erase the other person from the equation. Imagine you're doing volunteer work. Okay? Imagine that you're doing volunteer work. And you've invited 2 friends to do this with you. Neither one shows up to help. And so you're left to do it all. One of them just blows you off because she's hungover and just couldn't deal with it. But the other friend found out that a beloved family member suddenly passed and had to jump in the car and take off, forgetting to call you in her emotional state. When you look at it, you actually have the exact same result. You've been ditched and you're left to do all the work yourself. But you have a choice in that moment. You have a choice. You can choose the option that puts you at risk of busting a vein out of the rage that you feel. Or the other option is to open your heart. Another example would be you're sitting in your car in a parking lot in front of a grocery store. And all of a sudden a grocery cart just comes out of nowhere and it slams into your car and it leaves a small dent and maybe a scratch. No one is around at all to see this happen. No one pushed it into your car. No one is holding onto the cart, so therefore there's nobody to get mad at. And you deal with this situation in a much calmer way. But let's say there was a moron pushing the cart and was too busy texting or watching something on their phone and they just ran their cart into your car. And you choose to react by getting mad and calling them every name in the book. Again, it's the exact same situation. Your car has a dent and a scratch in it, but you have 2 different ways that you can react. When someone does something bad to you, take that person out of the equation. This allows you to open yourself up to a more pleasant and productive reaction and life. Again, it's not about them. It's about you. If you have no one to be angry at, it's hard to stay angry. It opens the incident up for questioning. Why did this happen? How was I involved? Why did I attract this to myself? How can I grow from this? When you're consumed by resentment, the lesson can't get through all your inner and outer screaming and yelling. The lesson can't get through. So use these irritating situations and people as opportunities for growth, not pain. Number 3, decide you'd rather be happy than right. Sometimes freedom lies in you deciding you'd rather be happy than right. Yes, your friend should have paid the speeding ticket she got when she borrowed your car. Or maybe your brother shouldn't have cleaned your couch while he was house sitting for you. But if they don't see the way you see it, instead of spinning out of control for days, wouldn't it be better to just let it go? Is it really worth going through all of that just so you can be right? Ask yourself, what do I have to do or not do? Think or not think in order to be happy right now? If your answer is let the a-hole think they're right, then so be it. Let them think it. Right, cool. Number 4, look at it from all angles. Remember that we're all living in our own self-created illusion, and we have no idea what the other person is acting out or where they're coming from. There are times I've been on phone with a client and they have been upset about something, and they never acted this way before, and they're just going off, and I'm just like, what is going on? And then maybe a couple of days later, I find out that the client just found out they either had cancer or someone in their family had cancer. Again, it wasn't me. It was the situation that they were in. So remember that we're all, we have no idea what the other person is going through. We have no idea where they're coming from. Just because you think something is totally not okay, in their illusion, it could be fine. And your way could be totally not okay. Loosen your grip on it, because your way or the highway, loosen that grip on it being your way or the highway. Let some air in, and you may be surprised how quickly resentment will leave you. So we've all done this next example. So let me lay it out for you. We've all been there. I mean, almost all of us should have been here before. You send your good friend a text about going to see some event and you would like for her to go with you. She sends a text back saying she can't make it because it's actually her birthday. You text back an apology with a sad face emoji. You don't hear anything back, so then you text her, happy birthday. You still don't hear anything back. How many of you can be like me from this point on? You start spinning out of control with your thoughts. You go from feeling awful for hurting her feelings to wonder what kind of idiot adult still cares that much about her stupid birthday. You know, the angry feelings to thinking how much you'll have to spend on a present to relieve your guilt. Anybody going through this? She must be mad at me now. I didn't like the way she said that sentence. We have no clue what tone is being taken in a text, which is what is so awful about texting or emailing now. Is you don't know what tone that person was taking it in or saying it in. And then you don't know what happens if they haven't responded, why they're not responding. But we are driving ourselves insane, only to find out later that she accidentally dropped her phone in the toilet bowl after her last text to you. That's when you do the hand to face slap emoji, right? Right, cool. But there are some people out there, their way or the highway, right? So you see, if you're inquisitive instead of bound by your reactions to other people, you get the double whammy bonus of not only setting yourself up to forgive them much more easily, because you realize it's more about you, not them, but you also get the great gift of being enlightened to some of your own not so special traits that you can grow and learn from. Byron Katie, who wrote Loving What Is, 4 Questions That Can Change Your Life, said, and I thought this was so very fitting, we don't attach to people or things. We attach to uninvestigated concepts that we believe to be true in the moment. So just like the example I gave you on the text, and assuming that the person is upset with you, and that is why she's not answering your text, all you need to do is ask yourself, why am I freaking out over something that I have no proof of? I hate it when my therapist would do that to me when I was going through all that. Or even, how would I feel if I didn't just assume that my friend is mad at me? Just one question away from being happy in any otherwise upsetting situation. Number five. Y'all have heard me say this. I've said it to my daughter. Have a total crap fit. She call it something else, but we're gonna make it nicely on here. Crap fit. If I've ever seen where this has paid off of throwing your fit or your temper tantrum, I hope Selena's still in here. If I've ever seen where this has paid off, it would have been last week when Selena and I were at Smash Mama's. If you don't have one of these places, go find somewhere alone, far away from other people, and beat the hell out of your pillow or some inanimate object that won't hurt you or fist punch you back. Or where someone's going to call the cops because they think you've lost it. But go and scream and yell about what a selfish brat this other person is, or whatever you want to call them. And go for it 100% until you're exhausted. Get it all out of your system, totally and completely, and then let it go. Or, as in our model that day with Selena and I, it was no more. No more. She left it there on the floor with that filing cabinet. Totally left it. Talk about empowerment. Talk about taking your power back. Oh, lab, that's a whole nother, that's my stepdad. Yep. I have a hard time with that still. Dealing with a narcissist, knowing when someone's being a narcissist because you still feel like you're crazy because you do know that the relationship you had with someone was narcissistic. At least for me, where I'm questioning everything. Full of new ball game. Best to walk away and never look back. Amen, Anna. Anna Tree. Number 6. Remember that you won't even remember this in most situations. Think of someone who had you totally freaking out and all pissed off 3 years ago, or maybe it was a few years ago. Can you come up with someone? If you can you get all worked up about them now? I could if I chose to let myself to, right? Depending on the severity of the situation, of course, this person or event will most likely be a mere blip, not very long from now. So why make a huge drama out of it if you're going to forget all about it one day? See it for the future non-event that it is. Start forgiving and forgetting right away. I can think of someone that I can't even remember why we got into it anymore because it's so long ago. It doesn't even matter anymore. But I can think of someone for sure. But can I go there anymore? No, because I'm not going to allow myself. But too, I can't even remember what it was that we got into it about. Right, Selena? Yes. Right, Lev? Is like payback. Payback for your dogs. Right, and I don't know where you're at in your journey, Lev, but for me, I walked away from my stepdad 2 years ago. And it's still hard. It's still fresh 2 years later. Still fresh. Especially when certain events or certain people might remind me of him. And I have to draw myself back. When it comes to forgiveness, what you actually have to do, it's not hard. Just like if you decide to quit smoking, You actually do less than you did when you smoke. Think about it. As in, no more going to the store to get the smokes. You don't have to get in your car, drive to the store, get it out in the bitter cold heat of the day, whatever. No more driving to the store to get them. No more having to open the pack. No more lighting one up. No more finding an ashtray. So forth and so on. You just have to stop. All the work is in letting go of your self-created attachment to the cigarettes or to the person or the event. It's the same with forgiveness. All you have to do is let go of your self-created attachment to this other person or belief. Right, Lisa D? Yes. Yes. Number 7, my favorite. Bring out your own Italian self in this one if you like. Forget about it. Forget about it. Once you have truly forgiven someone or an event, wipe the slate clean. We often form judgments about people, and then, no matter what they do, we see them through the lens of that judgment. Which in return just means we're waiting for them to just piss us off again. Which also means you're still in the forgiveness light stage. You haven't fully forgiven them. You're in the forgiveness light stage. You're pretending that you're cool with them, but you're really still holding on to some resentment. Release all expectations. Let everyone off the hook. Treat people as a blank slate over and over again. Forget about it. Harley is really good at that. I don't know where that poor girl got it from, but she didn't learn it from this person, apparently. Or maybe she did. Maybe I'm that way in certain, I don't know. But she expects only the best for them, regardless of what they've done in the past. What you focus on, you create more of. And if you keep expecting people to annoy you, they will not let you down. I need to learn that one for myself, right? I need to learn that one for myself. I need to quit attracting those that annoy me. How do I do that? Focus on finer points of these people and encourage their good behavior if you want to create more of it. Number 8, love yourself. You deserve it. You deserve it. I always love how she ends each chapter with loving yourself. So many of us probably do not love ourselves. And it's just a reminder to love yourself, give yourself some grace, forgive yourself. Right, love? Yes. When we are younger and lost less, then we are easily more resilient. That's how I always was until I got older, and now I'm in limbo to get better and grow again. Right? But like she'll be 28 this year. And she's still, like, I'm just standing from the sidelines, I'm just shaking my head going, girl. Selena, you and that phone. We should have taken that in the smash room and smashed it. Got you another one. That's what we should have done. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Right, love? Yes. Yep. I have a hard time believing that I'm going to be 50 this year. It's like, wow, I don't feel it. I don't feel like I look like it. How am I 50? Smash that phone one day, right? Yes. So, real quick, that participation question I asked you guys earlier. How many of you will choose to start forgiving and letting go? For those of y'all that put 2 in chat earlier, how many of us are going to try to choose to start forgiving and letting go? Or how many of you will choose that regardless of what you put in chat earlier? Right? Thank you, Josie. Without your phone, we wouldn't be talking to you or seeing you. Right? Yes. Youngins. Right? All right, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Tomorrow night, Selena and I will be back for one price short of a Happy Meal. That's going to be at 7:30. Get it right, Scooter. Tonight was 8. Tomorrow night, 7:30. Oh, I love it, love. I'm thankful to have found like-minded people finally in life. I was struggling without my dad, and now I still struggle, but less since I met you all. Oh, I love you, love. Joy and light, yes. Real quick, one more week of light. It'll be a light week for me this week. We got 4th of July coming up, so happy 4th to everyone. If you have served in the military, or you're watching this later and you have served in the military, or you got family members, whatever it may be, thank you for your service for our country. We would not have the freedom that we have today if it was not for you and our ancestors and everything. So thank you. So because 4th of July is coming up, I'm planning to take Wednesday night off and Thursday night, obviously because of fireworks and everything. So I might do a pop-up on Friday, so just be checking on the thumbnails. So be watching out for that. More likely, I think I will be, but we will see. Then next week, I will be back at it with a full schedule of auctions because Mama needs to get to work, right? Make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh. See, I love that y'all. See, that's what Monday Motivation is all about. We're here for each other. We're even here for each other outside of Monday Motivation, right? Yes. Again, this is your safe place. This is where we can all come, be vulnerable, be who we really are when we need to be. And those of us that can be, right? Well, come on back, love. Next week, we'll be talking about doing versus spewing. Doing versus spewing. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your night. Remember, you have the choice to forgive or fester. Good night, everybody.